According to Genesis, when God created humans, they were created as male and female. This pertained to their physical attributes such as reproductive functions and sexual organs. However, in the subsequent chapters of the book, written by a different author, gender is introduced and is presented as a cultural, rather than a biological concept. This includes societal constructs such as customs, laws, institutions, and values that are based on gender differences. According to the Bible, when the man and the woman disobeyed God's command in the Garden of Eden, they were punished with death. In addition to this, as part of her punishment, the woman was made subservient to man, with the Bible stating, "Your desire will be for your man, and he will rule over you." This punishment was seen as the start of the divine paradigm of the subordination of women. In the biblical world, as well as ancient societies more broadly, and to some extent today, society was primarily patriarchal. The fundamental unit was the house of the father, an extended nuclear family that the patriarch headed. Descent was traced through the father. Men were commonly described as the son of their father, for example, Joshua son of Nun and Isaiah son of Amoz. Similarly, women were identified in the same way, at least until marriage, such as Rizpah the daughter of Ai, and Esther the daughter of Abihail. Following marriage, women could also be identified by their husband, such as Bathsheba the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah, and Jael the wife of Heber. Under the patriarchal framework, women were cast as subordinates in society, specifically as daughters, wives, mothers, and sisters. Many times, they were not even mentioned, similar to younger sons. Even when women played a significant role in a narrative, their names were often left unspecified. For instance, the Bible does not mention the names of Noah's wife, Lot's wife, Jephthah's daughter, Samson's mother, Job's wife, and other prominent women. Not only were women subordinates in family structures, but they were also deemed as inherently inferior. The patriarchal bias was not only reflected in family structures but also in social norms. Husbands and fathers held extensive control over their wives and daughters. Sarah, referring to her husband, called him her lord, while Abraham was later addressed as her master. Such terminology highlights the position of the wife. She was subordinate to her husband, and was treated as his possession. The word master was often used while discussing property ownership laws. The New Testament approved Sarah's status, an example despite her inferiority within the family structure. Women as subordinates were subject to their fathers and husbands in numerous ways. In ancient times, marriage was not much different from being sold as a slave wife. As part of the marriage contract, a daughter was given to a prospective husband in exchange for a specified bride price paid to her father. Until the daughter was married, she was considered her father's property, and her reproductive role was under his control. If a man seduced her, he had to marry her, or he would still have to compensate her father, the complete bride price paid for virgins, as restitution for having damaged his property, with his daughter being no longer a virgin. Abraham's servant was sent by his master to find a wife for his son Isaac. At the city's spring, he met Rebekah, Abraham's grandniece, who eventually became Isaac's wife. According to the text, she was very beautiful to look at, a virgin, whom no man had known. Virginity was highly valued before marriage, and men had the right to expect their wives to be virgins. Fathers also had a deep interest in ensuring that their daughters were virgins, since the bride price for a virgin daughter was much higher than that of a non-virgin daughter. However, there is no evidence in the Hebrew Bible to suggest a positive stance toward lifelong virginity. Jephthah's daughter's death was considered a tragedy because she passed away a virgin, without having any children. In the Hebrew Bible, virginity is solely attributed to women. There are numerous references to women who have not been with a man, but none to men who have not been with a woman. Additionally, in all marriage and rape laws, a man's sexual history is never taken into account, only a woman's. It seems the sexual ethics of a man is not a state of interest to the ancient authors. The Bible states, "The desire of the woman shall be for the man." It is possible that this emphasis on female desire is the reason why the sexual behavior of men was not a significant concern for the ancient authors. However, this idea of desire as a punishment highlights an unequal power dynamic between the sexes, and suggests a sexist and patriarchal mindset in ancient Israel. Nevertheless, there are protests against such attitudes in other books of the Bible. The Song of Solomon stands out from other books in the Bible as it uses language that describes all forms of love, particularly the physical aspect. It contains a repeated line that would have evoked an image of a naked couple embracing before engaging in intercourse for ancient Near Eastern peoples. The specific lines read, "His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me." While the Song of Solomon emphasizes the physical aspect of love, its message is not limited to that. It aims to transcend the inequalities between men and women and provides meaning to life even in the face of mortality. In Psalm 7:10, the woman declares, "I am my beloved's, and his desire is for me." The word used for desire is unique in the Bible and only appears in two other instances: Genesis 3 verse 16 and Genesis 4 verse 7. The comparison between Psalm 7:10, "I am my beloved's, and his desire is for me," and Genesis 3 verse 17, "Your desire will be for your man, and he will rule over you," is fascinating. In Genesis, desire is portrayed as a form of punishment, whereas in the Song of Songs, it is celebrated, and even reverses gender roles. The man feels desire for his beloved, rather than the woman. When seen in comparison to Genesis 3 verse 16, the song can be interpreted as advocating for gender equality in all aspects of romantic and sexual relationships. The Song of Solomon stands out among other erotic poems, as it describes the body and beauty of both the man and the woman. Additionally, it goes beyond the patriarchal and sexist mindset of ancient Israel. It is noteworthy that the woman is the first and last speaker in the poem. The Song of Solomon views love and sexuality as a divine gift that allows us to appreciate life in the face of death, which is an unavoidable fate. The verse, "Love is strong as death, passion fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, flame of Yah." Songs of Solomon 8 verse 6. Suggests that love is divine and has the power to resist death, allowing people to appreciate their bodies and sexual experiences. The author emphasizes that the passion and eroticism of love, like flames of fire, are strong enough to persist beyond the unavoidable bitter end.